I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports.
Coach, the rain is falling, the fans are soaked, but here's the bottom line. We've got football at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
The thing I like most about Derek Carr's game is not just the right arm and his touch and his ability to find receivers. I think it's his calmness, and I think that transmits itself very well to the rest of the team. They feed off of that, and they go out and play with confidence. One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Now a throw here on second down, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
You ain't going nowhere. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Carr. And that's caught by Smith. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Elliott, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Carr. And that is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of Week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. 12 more yards there and another first down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from the 1. And they'll turn to a power game to try to get in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. They go to the big man. Second time he gets it done.
Almost as if they were feeling like he was establishing a rhythm. Give it to him again and again. And how about the end result? Finishes it off in the end zone.
Touchdown, great run, and the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out comes Houston. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Elliott. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Throwing on 2nd down. Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. They have the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. To throw, it's Carr. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards. Back to the 33. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason, and runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 34-yard line.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give him 17 on that pickup.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. From 19 yards away, as the Ravens push further out in front. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Thomas the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Play action. Now it's Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
To throw is Carr, and the throw there going to be incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right. Partner, it's often the man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful. The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now it's Jackson escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend, as the Ravens push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Throwing again on second down. Carr looking sideline, incomplete. Robert Woods, the intended receiver that time. And it's third and short. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Now Carr. And he'll find his target. Woods, it's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that's Elliott, complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it a second down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Carr to throw again. And that is caught, but the back judge right there to say incomplete. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. But Packers' kick here is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3.
Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
So we've reached halftime here on...
All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime.
Derrick Henry all alone. It's a big run that time by Henry. 42 yards. And we were down on the field watching Henry warm up before the game. He's a big man. No wonder he breaks those tackles.
And you remember what I told you when we were watching? It's not all pads.
Yeah.
And you get him out of pads and just see him in a regular suit or an outfit. He is a huge human being and a lot faster than what people know. When he gets rolling, he's a lot to bring down.
They go play action now. Jackson. That's complete to Show. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. In for the score as the Ravens push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game being on second half no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They go with a fullback line. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
Football's such a game of tendencies, down and distance, and on 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1, you're thinking, yeah, the fullback's probably going to get the ball. But when you get to 3rd and 2, most of the time that's either the running back or a pass play. So that's a nice tendency breaker by the offensive team there. Hand it to their big guy to pick up a first down.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Carr. That one complete to Elliott. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Derrick Henry pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me.
Play action. Now Jackson. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs. Give him 17 on that pickup. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Henry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch, when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. Fighting through, and he's got space. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom, he took advantage of it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. It's the fullback. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. As the Ravens push further out in front. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to
hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The D-tackle, Sheldon Richardson, came barreling in for the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Draw play, Elliott. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing his car on 3rd down. Throw left side complete. It's Elliott.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Get out the field, defense.
10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up 1st and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 2 yards out as his guys continue to pour it on. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, 2 sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow him down.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead. You give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering where they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. The pass rush specialist, D. Ford, in on the stop. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Ravens, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll get another home date next week as the Browns will come to town. Meanwhile, for Houston, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
I don't wanna be on the ground. me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I've never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live, I don't know what these mad for. I just had to do and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib ain't getting money, you gotta ask for it. Tired of complaining, I got up and changed my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day take, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it, ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know when Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, y'all beat the flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all beat the flow. Are you ready? Set, jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter right. Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? But can you rock it like rocket fuel?